Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Do Life Together. I'm Tay,
And I'm Kay.
your favorite podcast people. Just kidding. Maybe we are, maybe we
Hopefully.
aren't. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Today we have an exciting topic, maybe a deep for thought type of topic. We're going to be talking about, is social media ruining our attention spans? Right off the bat, I'm going to speak for myself and say yes. I don't want to call myself out, but this is a safe space. And I definitely feel like I've noticed that my attention span has changed over mostly, I would say, the last 2 years. What do you think?
I would say it definitely, yeah. Because everything is so quick.
Yes.
Like especially TikTok, it's like you're scrolling.
Yes.
And I'm always like, I catch myself just like doom scrolling for like
Me too.
minutes and hours sometimes. And it's like, dang. And then, yeah, it really gets your attention span. It kind of got to me a little bit.
Right?
For sure, yeah.
I think so too. And I would say, interestingly enough, for myself, I find that it's more difficult now to avoid the doom scrolling than it was during COVID, which I find really interesting because I feel like during COVID time, because we were home and there was nothing to do, you would have thought that I would have been doom scrolling a lot. But interestingly enough, I feel like my attention span back then was so much longer. So it was like, oh yeah, I don't like need to be on my phone. I'm not reaching for my phone. And I feel social media wasn't as hot then as it is now. So it wasn't a habit for me to reach for my phone in that way, if that makes sense. Like I'm at the point right now where it can be difficult. Wow, I'm really outing myself right now. It can be really difficult for me to watch a movie, even a short Disney movie, an hour and 15 minutes, and not pick up my phone to scroll on any app. It could be Pinterest, it could be Instagram, it could be TikTok. But how ridiculous is that? Like personally for myself, I find that kind of sad. Because why do I feel the need to do that? You know what I mean? Do you ever do that? Or is that just me?
No, for movies, definitely not. Because it's like, I'm
Babe.
I'm a person that like, I get very into what I'm doing. So like, if I'm watching a movie that I want to see, then
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. But if I'm watching something with a friend that I'm not really interested in, it's just like, oh, we just happen to be sitting here, or I just happen to sit down and like I'm in the middle of something. They're in the middle of a movie or something, and then maybe I'll get on my phone. But for me, it's hard if I'm somewhere watching a presentation or like, how do you say, like when
Like
you go
a
to an
seminar or
event?
something?
Yeah, like a seminar, and somebody's like up there speaking, and it's something that's not really that engaging. It's like I can't, like my attention span will go elsewhere really quickly. Like even if it's not on my phone, like for me to go on my phone and do something on my phone and scroll, like I'll just be paying attention to something else. Like, oh, what is that person doing? And just like looking around and not interested in what is happening there, you know?
That makes
Like I
sense.
can't keep my attention in one thing. Listening to seminars and things like that, that's when I'm like, okay, step it up, you know?
That makes sense though. I feel like personally I have the same issue. Like I can fake it. I won't lie. I can kind of fake it. I'll be looking at you while you're speaking and telling me your little thing about whatever you're talking about. But sometimes I'm looking at you, but in my mind, I'm like, what else did I need to do today? You know, did I forget the laundry? You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about a lot of things. So I can definitely relate to that for sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like it's just gotten worse over the last couple of years. Because even if I was like that years ago, I don't feel like it was as bad as it is right now.
Yeah.
Like I need to reclaim my ability to focus. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Even out in the world, I sometimes find myself preparing to make content out of something that doesn't really need to turn into content, if that makes sense. Now, it's one thing for us to give a perspective because we are influencers, content creators, and we are making content, obviously. That's why you're here. But at the same time, like I want to remind myself that I have a life and not everything I do has to be content. So I don't need to be rehearsing for an Instagram story or doing things like that. And I even feel like that's one way I've also kind of been sucked into the social media kind of world a little bit aggressively. Like I've allowed that to happen to myself. So I'm trying to kind of just slow down a little bit and remember that not everything needs to be filmed, or sometimes it's better to just live in the moment and have that not be my first initial thought when I'm doing something. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I have that problem as well. Yeah. I gotta get better at that.
For sure. But one thing that I do think is great is we are a little opposite on that. Like you always remind me that sometimes content can be the littlest things because I will overthink what I'm creating. And you'll tell me, even just going on a short weekend trip, you can make content out of your trip in whatever way you want to. And I think that's helpful because sometimes I'm so stuck in the moment of like, oh, well, let me just like not be on my phone. Then I'm like, oh, that would have been really fun to record, or that would have been fun to share, you know, like us going to Dallas. We recently went on a trip to Dallas and I was so busy living in the moment, I wasn't even thinking about recording anything. So someone asked us, oh, I hope we're going to get to see a Dallas vlog. And I was like, oh, let me just not look at you. I'm so sorry because we didn't vlog it at all. But we had such a great time just
Yeah.
living and hanging out with our friends. And that, you know, matters too. So I think balance really is key when it comes to,
Yeah.
you know, kind of falling into that doom scrolling, but then like creating content, but still living your life and remembering to disconnect.
True.
Personally.
Shout out to Janelle. That's her name, right?
Yes. Hopefully we're saying it
We'll
perfectly correct.
we'll do
Janelle.
something. We'll do a little Dallas recap. Some
Yes.
on Patreon. We'll do that.
We'll do it so you guys can see. We got some stuff, but we really were just having a great time actually.
Yeah.
Surprising.
And that's when it's like a weird balance, you know, because we want to be able to share with you guys what we could share.
Yes.
And yeah, just have you guys be a part of our lives in a way. Let's say we're going on a date to Disneyland or something, and then we're like, oh, let's record this, let's record that, let's record this, but then we're not like really in the moment. Or let's say we're going to a new place and it's like, oh, this would be so cool to do a video like this or do a vlog or do this, and it's like, do you want to, you know, be in a moment or record the moment, especially because it's either me recording or her recording. So it's hard for us to be in the moment together because of that. If we had a third person that, let's say we went to Disneyland and now we have a camera person that's recording, and now we can still be in the moment while this person is like, hey, record whatever you want to record, and just like we'll kind of be in a moment but then
Yes.
recording at the same time. Let's say we go to Disneyland. We've been there thousands of times, so going one more time is like whatever. We could go specifically to record a vlog. Doesn't matter because we already experienced this. But if it's something new, we just rather experience the thing first, and okay, now we're gonna go again to
Yes.
record it and show everybody.
I would agree for sure. And I think that's something that you guys might enjoy, and you can let me know what your thoughts are. But like he said, there's things we've done before, but it's hard to record ourselves and still give you guys that connection where it feels like you're really getting both of us. So I would love trying out doing some vlogs where we go and do something and we actually have somebody else who's recording us, so that one, you guys can see both of us, because I also think that would be nice and it's not just us recording each other, but and also so that we can be a little bit more ourselves and focus more on the experience rather than making like a production out of it. Because personally for me also, that's an easier way to disconnect from being on my phone, because sometimes if it's the two of us, we're working together. So it's like I'm on my phone, I'm looking up this, I'm trying to find a video. Oh, I'm too connected to my phone, versus if we had that third person, it'd be like, oh, even more of an opportunity for me to disconnect and just focus on what I'm doing. And then it feels even more natural for you guys. And I feel like there's more of an opportunity to connect as well.
Agreed.
And I was going to share, because I was thinking of this while you were talking, like it could be kind of a hot take, I don't know. But one of the things that I feel is very connected to my seemingly ruined attention span at the moment. We're healing her. Okay, we're healing her. But I feel like I'm not comfortable being bored anymore. I don't know if like you have a hot take on your attention span, but for me, mine is I feel like I just can't get bored comfortably. As soon as I sit down and there's nothing happening, I'm like a freaking crazy person trying to figure out where my cell phone is, because I need to look at something or hear something. And I feel like that's kind of not good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm outing myself really badly right now. But I do, like, I feel like it's kind of sad that I can't sit with myself. Personally, I think I'm great. So why can't I sit in silence or just do something around my personal space that doesn't require doom scrolling or, kind of feeling like I need to be on social in some kind of way.
See, but that's the thing. Like I think about it and I'm like, I'll even switch mine, and because I feel like mine is the same as yours, because I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be the doom scrolling. You know, like okay, social media is ruining your attention span, and then okay, when you're bored, you're gonna resort to doom scrolling. I feel like it's just being able to just sit there and like not do anything. Like I can't do that at all. If I'm sitting down for more than like 10 minutes, I have to be doing something. I have to record, I have to take pictures, I have to do something. When I create my best content, or I'll say my most creative content, is when I'm bored and I'm not doing anything and I just, decide to get up and go do something. Because now, like, there's nothing really in my mind. And then, all right, let me get up and figure something out. It's like I could start from scratch, okay, let's do this. Let's take a picture like this. Or, oh, let's record this from this angle. So I think that social media has made that part of my attention span even, smaller. But I don't know. It could be, I don't know. I don't know. It's like a weird thing because for me, I see it as it is a bad and a good thing. It's bad because my attention span is short. But then I almost see it as a good thing because when it comes to, because I was already that way. When it comes to like, all right, I'm sitting here, I'm bored. I get up and I go do something productive. Like I'll do my most 90% of the time is my content or I'm working out. In a way, I think that's, kind of good, I guess, because at least I'm not doing anything crazy,
Look, again, I said this is a safe space. You guys can clearly see that I'm literally calling myself out. And Khalil is literally sitting here in my face and in your face telling you that when he has a short attention span, he becomes productive. How terrible is that? I don't even want to finish this conversation because I'm like, I feel even worse than I did before we started because at least your attention span revolves around you being productive because you're over here like, yeah, sometimes I sit around and then if I don't have anything to do, I'll start to work.
Because I guess if you're thinking like, okay, if you have a short attention span, you would have a short attention span in productivity as well. For me, that's the total opposite. But only if it's something that I'm interested in.
That's fair. Well, I feel terrible. I'm going to start forcing myself to try to be productive instead of doom scrolling, you guys, because that is amazing. I think that's great that you can do that. I also feel this, I wouldn't say this is necessarily connected to attention span. It's more so just probably my slight OCD. And I, every once in a while, am literally giving Dr. Bailey from Grey's Anatomy. If you know what I'm talking about.
You do.
And I have like a select amount of hours where I'm extremely productive. And I would say it's literally from like 8 in the morning to about 2 o'clock. But I know, bear with me. From like 8 in the morning to 2 o'clock. Now for reference, I usually am waking up around 5:45 to 6 in the morning right now because of a small adjustment that I've had to make for my schedule. And so since that's my most productive, I find in those moments, I can be like you, where like, okay, if I have kind of a slowdown in my schedule, I'm like, oh, okay, what can I create? How can I be productive? Maybe I'm doing homework because I'm still a student. Maybe I'm cleaning, whatever. But after 2 o'clock, girl, I am fighting for my life to not reach for my phone.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I'm, okay, kind of a slowdown, I'm like, boop, boop, TikTok, boop, 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 Instagram, Pinterest. Pinterest and I are best friends. So that's really great that you're like that. I feel like I need to focus on being more like that all throughout the day instead of getting to the point where I allow my tiredness and my laziness to become the reason I get on my phone.
Yeah.
Because what if I didn't have a phone? What would I do?
True.
Sit around and stare at the wall?
You have a longer attention span.
Rude.
See, the thing with me, it's funny because it's the complete opposite. Like my most active when my creative juices are flowing, I don't know, 5 p.m. until 1 a.m. No, not earlier, not later. Literally that window of time is when I'm most, okay, let's go. Usually right around golden hour. And then because the lighting is amazing everywhere, like it just looks great. So then, yeah, everything that I look at, I'm like, oh, I should do a video here. I should take a picture here. I should do this here. Even for us, it's like, oh, let's do content today. And then at night, I'll randomly get like an idea. And I'm like, okay, I have to do this right now. I can't wait until tomorrow. I can't wait until next week or somebody else is going to do it. I have to do it today, right here in this moment, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., does not matter. I have to do it. So, yeah.
It could not be me, you guys. The way we're so polar opposite.
I know.
But you know, they say opposites attract.
Exactly.
So what can I say?
Indeed.
Well, if you guys have any hot takes on that, that support my claim, please drop them below. If you're supporting Khalil, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Shh. Shh.
Quiet.
Okay?
No,
okay?
please comment everything below.
Crazy. But I will say that I've gotten very into working on certain things that I feel help me kind of reclaim my focus.
Yeah.
And reading is number one. Also, if you know, you know. Because if you follow me on Instagram, you've been seeing that I very much have been sharing a lot more about my reading and how much I love it. Yep. Me and my Kindle besties. So that's been really helpful for me. I've also been trying to designate like no phone time, especially when we're on dates. Because when we actually designate time specifically to not be working and to just be together, I try really hard to be present and be in the moment. So I do really like that. And I'm actually really good about not being on my phone when we're having a meal. If we're sitting together at a table and like we're going to sit and eat, not just like casually, I really don't look at my phone, which is good. But for myself and my personal private goal, I'm going to try to not be on my phone while watching movies. Particularly if it's a movie that I've seen before, even though that's hard because I already know what's going to happen and stuff, but still, I can make an effort to watch a few of my favorites without being distracted.
Yep.
So, I don't know if you have any things that you do to kind of like bring yourself some peace without being on your phone.
Without being on my phone, I'll work out or just
see, there you go.
Do content.
You're so movement based. It's fine.
Because that's literally all I do. Like, I'm either working out and doing content or like I'm working out while doing content, you know?
Well, to be fair, you are an athlete.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just a random human being who's just working out and recording all the time.
That makes sense.
So it does make sense because that is also part of your job. So that is fair. That's valid. I like that. Yeah. We each have our thing. You're movement based. I'm sedentary.
Or I'll edit like to center myself and like get back to, you know.
That's nice.
Calm.
See, that's good.
I'll edit the content.
Oh my God. Stop. But you with the editing, I feel like is me with the reading.
Yeah.
Like you find editing relaxing and I'm trying to disappear into a world where there's dragons. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I can take a deep breath. Now I can unwind, which is why I usually do those things in the evening, which is another reason I'm trying to not be on my phone because I want to be able to wind down and relax and prepare to go to sleep. Yep. So I'm sleeping and you're out here hustling and bustling. But that's okay.
That's funny.
Well, since I said what I said, do you want to do some mystery box questions? Ooh. You guys love a mystery box, and I love it for you.
All right, guys. Let's see. First pregunta. First question. Oh, I guess we could leave it open.
Is
who gets more hangry?
First of all, adorable.
It's an easy
Great question.
Easy
Khalil?
answer. Definitely me. I cannot. If I'm hungry, I can't function. I can't work out. I can't do content.
He can be friendly.
I can't be friendly.
Khalil's actually the definition of hangry. If you look it up in the dictionary, he is right there.
Khalil Silva.
He is a synonym to the word hangry.
Yep.
So, bless your heart. But you definitely do get hangry. But the good thing is I've learned to navigate it now because I'm very familiar with it. So as soon as he gets a little, you know, a little spicy, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Especially now because I'm eating a lot more. And it's weird because the more I eat, the hungrier I get. It's weird.
You get that metabolism moving.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's why they call it breakfast because you're breaking your fast from your sleep.
Makes sense.
People who skip breakfast tend to not be hungrier. But if you like eat breakfast within like an hour of waking up, you're going to be hungrier faster because eating makes your metabolism go.
Good to know.
apparently. Next question. What does emotional safety look like in your relationship? That's a very deep question.
Okay.
I would say in our relationship specifically, Khalil always giving me the space to be myself and to feel the things that I feel, because I will say between the two of us, I'm definitely the more emotional person. I take everything to heart. I cry a lot. I'm very deep, I would say. And
Agree.
like I overthink as well. So him always giving me the space to feel how I feel makes me feel safe and not feel crazy
Not feel crazy.
for crying and like, just feeling how
Yeah.
I feel. I've had a
Yeah.
lot of emotions going on all at once.
You
So
do.
I do appreciate that that's something you do all the time.
Little emotional teddy bear. I
That's
love
me.
it. I think for me, just being able to talk about my feelings and how I'm feeling, whether, I'm very emotional or very, I was going to say angry, but emotional and angry.
That too.
Anger is an emotion, so same thing. At something, or just, I don't know, something is going on, just to be able to talk and speak my mind no matter how I'm feeling. I feel like,
For sure.
especially as a man, we definitely need to have a space or someone that we feel comfortable coming to in order to talk about anything. I feel like the closest people to you miss certain things that are happening to you. I don't know if you're having a bad day or your mental health is just draining. I feel like the closest people to you sometimes miss those things, like the bigger things. So I feel like it's important for you to have those people near you that you could talk to, especially as a man. Of course, everyone, but I feel like, especially as a man, you feel like you can't really open up or, show emotion or do this or do that, because then you are seen as weak. I feel like that's the biggest thing that you probably helped me with, for sure. Just being able to express and open up no matter how I'm feeling. Yeah,
I'm glad that you feel that way.
for
It's a
sure.
lot. I don't know why that's like such a thing too. Like men shouldn't cry and men shouldn't this.
Yeah.
We're all human. And I be crying, let me tell you. Ooh, I be crying. Ooh, Lord, I be crying.
Yeah.
I'm a crier. I'll cry at anything. I got emotional today because a bee landed on my windshield when I was driving like 45 miles an hour. And some of his pollen was on the windshield.
Not his pollen.
Yeah, the pollen literally was on the windshield and I was emotional. Like I hit the bee, but what am I supposed to do? And he sat there for a minute and then he recovered and then he flew off. And I was like, you go, Barry, Barry B. Benson, of course.
What is the biggest lesson you learned from each other?
Mine is definitely patience, because I did not have any patience, I feel like, before we started dating.
Yeah, mine is easy. Just communication.
Oof, Lord Jesus.
That's the biggest.
True.
'Cause
Go
you're a
team.
big communicator.
Very, very big on communication.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow, I like that one. That was good, because balance, patience, and communication, world domination right here.
Last one.
Last one.
One more.
Okay. I already love this question. Who's the planner and who just vibes?
I just be vibing all the time. Yeah, she's the planner of all things.
I plan everything,
Yep.
all of it.
I just pay for it.
I plan so many details. Poor Khalil just shows up and I'm like, okay, here's what we're doing. This is the time we're leaving. This is where we're going. This is what's going to happen. And he's just
I'm just in the back.
relaxing. But if you think about it,
World.
it's a good balance, because
100%.
that's why it's easier for you to come up with like the content creativity and the stuff that you guys see us create, because I'm like, oh my God, okay, are we going to make it there on time? Okay, and then we have to drive. How long is the drive going to take us? So I get to stress about those things and then I don't have to stress about other things. So I appreciate that you take on the vibes so that I can stress
take on all
about
the vibes.
the schedule. You'll take on all the vibes?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's dedication.
You're welcome.
That's hard work. My creativity doesn't flow like yours does.
That's okay.
I'm envious, but it's okay.
You're creative too.
Thank you. Just
like it.
slow creative.
So no.
But that's okay. The tortoise still wins the race.
Exactly. As long as you get to the finish line, that's all that matters.
On that note, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I hope you felt the conversation was maybe inspiring. Maybe you're feeling like you can't watch a movie without looking at your phone either.
Watch this podcast instead.
Literally. Maybe you scrolled on your phone while watching the podcast, and that's okay. We
Yeah.
support you either way. But let us know what you guys think. Is that something that you struggle with? Is it not? And if you do struggle, what are you doing to try to recenter yourself and sometimes refocus?
Yeah.
So
Give us tips below. So
Please
we
do.
can help each other.
Period. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we will see you next time. Love you. Bye.